Sirach chapter 13 and 16. All flesh consorteth according to its kind, and a man will cleave to his like. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Charaka, Gwadash. Double honors to our elders and our apostles of Great Millstone, and a salute to the sincere elect out there. Keep fighting. In this time we're living in, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, apostates, sellouts, and agents. And yes, the title of this video gonna be birds of a feather, well and truly flock together. Yeah, all you got to do is just, as you go through your daily life, you just open your eyes, you see what people be flocking together. Everybody according to their kind, and we're gonna get into some of that. Things I've been meditating on through the past couple of days. So when you jump up now to Sirach 13 and 1, it says, He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. Yep, it's true. If you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. You've heard that before, that saying. It's a wise saying, and it's true. Just heard the bird them must sing, and they all be together, man. They all be flocking together, singing. Seagulls be flocking with seagulls. Ducks be flocking with ducks. You know what I mean? All different types of creatures, animals, they just dwell together, because it's just true saying. Birds of a feather flock together. But he that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therein. You touch pitch, or you get in the mire, or dog shit, or cow shit, you're gonna get it on you, man. You know what I mean? If you get in that mire, the pig squirrel and roll about in it, or you hang with pigs, you're gonna get defiled. You know what I mean? And even it's an abomination to eat swine. It's an abomination to eat swine, but it's also, we shouldn't even bring it near us. We shouldn't even touch it. That's how the Most High be feeling about these unclean animals, unclean beasts, things that defile us, as far as the dead, not going into the graves and walking around the graveyards, all those things the Most High don't like us being part of. His chosen wife to be his elect, right? Yahshua Allah. He doesn't want us to defile ourselves, because that's what he's saying here. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therein, and he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. So you have to deal with them. We know that. We have to deal with them. We're behind enemy lines. We're dealing with these heathens, goyim nations, sheeple. That's what they want to call us, but they're the real sheeple. They're the real goyim, right? That's what the Amalekites, they call us, but they're the real goyim. They're the real base men, the Edomites. They're the base people. So we have to deal with them. There's no way getting around it, but we don't spend too much time with them. We don't go partying with them. We don't sit down and drink and get drunk. And I've heard some stories about Jakes that be getting drunk around Edomites. The foul things do be happening. Don't fall asleep around them demons. But let's get back to the point. So if we spend too much time with these people, don't be unevenly yoked, as it also says in Corinthians. What fellowship do you have with a heathen? None whatsoever. Because and let me get another one that just come to me, and Lord willing, I'll get back to this. Lord willing, it'll be a quick video, straightforward and to the point. Just want to bring this out for those that don't know. Something that I was brought up to be aware of myself. So this is Proverbs 13 and 20. This is a well-known scripture, but if you didn't know, let's get into that. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Yeah, because you pick up people's bad habits. It's likely, and you might say, "No, I can't. That ain't gonna happen to me." You know, the flesh, the flesh, the spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak. And if you hang around with these people, and I've been around, I've come out of the world, so I know, you pick up bad habits, peer pressure, right? That people love to influence you to do wrong. And then before you know where you are, you're in some kind of deep doo-doo for hanging around with bad company. Yeah, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise. Right, that's why we, the elect, birds of a feather do be flocking together. We associate with each other, the elect. And yes, as an observation I've noticed as well, I've made, when as the elect are waking up and standing up with great boldness, there is a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction, just like when you fellowship with your brothers, the elect likewise, who have like minds, there's a positive chemical reaction, right? An explosion of beauty and joy and creativity, because we were once together when we were formed, from the time of Bawa Ash, Genesis, the beginning, Bawa Asha, the beginning. There was a chemical reaction when we formed the earth, with the help of the blueprint that was given to us to form the earth, the firmaments, the sea creatures, the firmaments, the sun, the moon, and the stars. That was a chemical reaction. Yahushua was given the blueprint by Yahweh to form and create an explosion of creation. So as we're back here now again, reunited with our elect brothers, because they're our real true brothers. You know what I mean? The carnal brothers, the fleshly brothers, are not spiritual brothers, but they may be carnal brothers or carnal sisters, the ones that came out of the same pum pum as we did. But spiritually, they're not really our brothers. Our real brothers are our brothers in the spirit, which are of the elect, our elect brothers and elect sisters. And if you're an elect lady, you're a sister in the spirit, right? You're a sister, and if you're a brother, an elect brother, you're a brother in the spirit. So that's the deepest brother. That's the real brothers. That's the real sisters. So yeah, there is a chemical reaction now. We've woken up. We've standing up with great boldness. We're back together again. We're doing things in the spirit. This world is turning right side up again, and we're going to do that once we're fully awoken and fully out of this wicked place. We're going to turn everything right side up again in righteousness as it should be. Yep. So that's the saying. It's a small saying, but it goes a long way. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. We're seeing that now. Those who are following the Edomites, their ways of life, their death style, are being destroyed, either instantly or slowly. Slow suicide, taking out their, drinking the juice of Babylon, taking their stimulants, right? Smoking weed, drinking their alcohol is a suicide, right? It's suicide. It's a death style, right? Because for those they brought that upon themselves. They've chosen to live that way and walk along with foolish people, which are the Edomites, right? The basement of the earth. And the scripture does tell us that they're fools. There are men of fools. Yep. There are men of fools, according to Job 30. Base men of fools. So if you follow their death style, you're going to live that. You're going to get the fruits of your labor. So we want to get back to where we were. I just want to hit this vibration out there because it's a true saying, a well-known saying. He that walketh with wise people, I read it again, the Spirit has me reading it again. Yeah. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And all those that love this kingdom, love this world, love Babylon and the mother of Babylon, will be like unto them and be like unto the Babylonians, the revived Romans that are back here again, doing what they've been doing throughout the whole of this kingdom, the whole of this, all of the kingdoms, the ancient Babylonians, the Medes, the Persians, the Grecians, the revived Babylonians, all doing what they do. It's a death style, and the Most High risen them all up just to make an example of them and put them all back down, so that we saw with our own eyes, where does it lead you, right? To serve Babel, to serve idols, It leads you to your grave, right? A shortcut to death. So we don't follow these ways, these heathens' ways of life. Once again, yes, we have to do business with them. We're in their kingdom. We're under the yoke right now. We're serving out our sentence for what we did. So we have dealings with them. Very short, quick, in and out, right? Let's get back to it. Sirach 13, once again, and 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled. Yeah, anything you touch that is defiled, you going to be defiled, just like unto it, yeah? Wherewith, and he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him, right? Perfect. Birds of a feather do be flocking together, just like these precepts be going together, right? It's true. And we're living out that, and we see that with our own eyes, just as we walk around and we navigate through this kingdom. Wicked like to do, people that like to smoke weed, they all flock together. People that like to just do things like bandulu, kill, steal and destroy, they all be getting together. The Epstein files, they're all one of a kind. The Epstein files, Mambler files, they're all on the same vibration, the energy of death, Satan. So beware. Just jump down to 8 now. Sirach 13 and 8. Beware that thou be not deceived and brought down in the jollity. Yep. That's what we have to be mindful of. We have to be aware of this kingdom and what it's, the fruits of the labor of this kingdom. That's why we do our best to serve the Lord with joy and with fear and with trembling, so that we can reap a higher vibration, live a higher vibration, which gives you a sense of achievement, a sense of job satisfaction, a sense of real joy. Yep. If thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself. Yep. that just shows you got to be mindful of these demons, man. Right? They've got ways of trying to lure you in. That's how they get a lot of these so-called celebrities drawn in to sign their contracts. Sign the contract, and then you perform whatever they want you to perform, and then next thing you know, they've got another contract for you to sign, and you can't get out of it because you've already made your commitment. You've already signed the first contract, and it's just contract after contract after contracts, being deceived after being deceived after being deceived, until they do away with you, just like what Clive James was doing to a lot of his that signed his contracts. Whitney Houston, Springsteen, Bruce Springsteen, to name a few. We heard of the stories. We heard the stories. You heard the stories. If thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself, and so much the more will he invite thee. Yep. Press thou not upon him, lest thou be put back. Stand not far off, lest thou be forgotten. In other words, keep away from these people, right? Keep away from these people. So it's going to explain it as I carry on reading in verses 14 of Sirach 13. Love the Lord all thy life, and call upon him for thy salvation. If you're of the elect, that's where your fellowship should be. That's where your heart should be. That's where your motivation should be. That's where your drive is. And that's your brother. Your brothers are your elect. The Father, Yahweh Shai, is our heritage, right? Our heritage is in the spirit world. That's where we're born from, right? There are spiritual brothers and our spiritual sisters. So we're getting that back. And some demons, maybe the spirit is jumping on some certain demons and is bugging him out. But yeah, love the Lord all thy life, and call upon him for thy salvation. Because our salvation is not in this world. This world is doomed, right? There's a perverse spirit in this kingdom, right? And Egypt is going up against Egypt. That's why the Mossad is bringing this place down in many, 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 many ways, via train crashes, via buses turning over, some things that are in the news right now, via earthquakes, tornadoes in Japan, Venezuela, earthquakes rather, In many different ways, this kingdom is being ruined, right? And it's from the Most High. He bringeth up, he bringeth down, right? He deleteth, he maketh alive. All of the Lord. So that's why our future is in our power. Our power is who? Love the Lord all thy life and call upon him for thy salvation, because that's where the salvation is. Right? And here's the point. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. And our neighbors is our fellow brothers, the elect, man and woman. That's our neighbors, right? Not these heathens, not these Edomites, not these Goyim. They're not our neighbors. They're the enemy. And they're going to be, eventually, they're going to be Obadiah 18. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh concerteth according to its kind, and a man will cleave to his like. Yep. The birds be chiming in, man. The birds, even the birds be getting a sense of relief when they hear this word. That's how powerful this word is. Right? Yeah, look at that. Perfect example there of birds flocking together. Look at that. Look at that. Come true, birds. Birds will be flocked together right there. Anyway, you saw that. So that's true. Right? All flesh concerteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. Yep. Yep, the birds are curious. They're singing to this word. Right? What fellowship have a wolf with a lamb? Yeah, that's self-explanatory. None whatsoever. Yeah, and that's a question mark. What fellowship have a wolf with a lamb? So a sinner with the so a sinner with the godly. Yeah, that's why the vibration, it don't click. When we're around them, it don't click. When they're around us, it don't click. We repel each other, right? There is a repelling, just like a magnet or a reverse magnet. They repel each other. So we repel each other. The righteous from the sinners repel each other. There's no attraction. There's nothing pulling us together. There's nothing in common, right? We hate them. They hate us. We love righteousness. They hate righteousness. So it can't work, right? All flesh concerteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. That's true, right? Birds of a feather do flock together. All flesh concerteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship have a wolf with a lamb? Right, self-explanatory, none whatsoever. So the sinner with the godly. Yep. So the sinner with the godly. It can't work, man. Can't work. Right? Done deal. Can't work. What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? Yeah, dogs, we know what the hyenas do. What the lions do with the hyena cubs. They get them at birth, they break their necks. Right? And it's the same with all cubs, and there's no agreement with them. Right? They know they're enemies. They know that they're sworn enemies. What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and poor? Right? They hate us. Right? I don't particularly hate them. I just know that they got everything they got by killing, stealing, and destroying. And they've only got it on lease temporarily, and they're going to have to give everything back and pay compensation. So, yeah, they don't like the fact that we're poor, but they're going to have to give everything back, right back to us. From whom they got it, right? The true men of the Lord, right? The Israelites. As is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor, right? That guy, Epstein, that's what he was doing. He was eating up the poor. The Epstein files, it's all coming out. Right? As a proud hate humility, yep, they're not humble, they hate humble people. So doth the rich harbor the poor. Right? That's really the point right there. The proud hate the humility, the humble. So doth the rich harbor the poor. They resent the poor, even though they got everything they got from the poor and they left them without anything. A rich man's beginning is to fall, is held up of his friend, but the poor man's being down is thrust away by his friends. So there you have it, Akim. There's no camaraderie, there's no friendship with the rich and the poor, the righteous and the unjust. Because birds of a feather well and truly flock together. And the end result for the rich is that they shall fall. Right? That's the prophecy. The warrior Bashim Shah, Kala Yahweh Bashim Shah, Bashim Rakak, Wadash, birds of a feather well and truly flock together. And there is no camaraderie, it will never work. So we're going to end with that. Wa Abba Babal. To the next one.